Hello and welcome to another Demis Hellen tutorial. This video I'm going to be showing you the creation of some content for Patreon. So if you are wanting these presets, these particular ones alongside my other free ones are only available on Patreon and they start at $3 pledge to get access to all of these presets. So I'm going to make one here. I'm going to make a little melody just to kind of make it sound good, and then we will head into designing the sound. So I literally have no idea, so it's going to be kind of a create a melody on the fly sort of thing. So let's get going. Let's just mess around with this idea. Gotta get used to Cubase 10. Alright, so we've just created a little melody idea there. Let's see if we can get something that sounds reasonable. You just need to change that there. Okay, let's make all these the same volume. Let's get rid of those. Make them all the same length. Okay, I'm liking that. That'll do for this demonstration. What I'm going to do is my usual, so we'll fill in the gaps. So I'm just going to pick a random note just to fill them in here. So there's been plenty of demonstrations where I've shown you how I fill the gaps and what it sounds like. So I won't go into too much detail. Okay, so now we have go on to A, F, and then we have G. Alright, so now we have this. Let's just put it up to like 134. Right, I feel it's going to suit a different position, so I'm just going to transpose it. I'm going to go to G sharp as a starting point. Yes, G sharp. And then transpose it one octave down. Let's try B. That sounds nice. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, there is a link on screen now to show you what is happening in a previous video that I did. Right, so we've got sound there. Let's just make it shorter. Let's give it a lovely blue colour. Right, we're sorted for the colouring, and we'll just call this Mellow 1. Keep things simple. Alright, so let's get on to the sound design. So let's start with a PWM. Turn the other oscillators off for now. Everything else is off, no effects. Okay, so starting with a simple sound. I'm going to keep the output envelope the same. I'm going to pass it through a low pass 4. Send it. Okay, and what we're going to do is use envelope 1 to create a pluck. A bit of resonance in there just to give it a bit of twang. Let's just shorten this down a bit more. Okay, we're going to keep this plucky, I think. I'm just going to connect macro 1 to there. Okay, and we'll just name that filter, so we know that is the filter control, and we don't have to mess around turning this cutoff here. Right, so we'll leave that as it is. We're going to layer in the second sound. Let's go for saw 2. I always opt for saw 2. Alright, so I'm going to choose bend plus minus. Sounds nice with a little bit of square in there rather than just being straight up saw. And what we're going to do is use envelope 2. We'll just see what it sounds like, and we'll pitch shift it and make it really quick. Just to give it a bit of click, a bit of substance in there. Let's get rid of the metronome there. So it gives it a little bit of click. So if we were just to bypass this, it's subtle and soft. Now we've got a nice little click thing going on here, so I'm just going to control the level. So nothing. And then we're going to go down to this modulation here and phase on number 2. Just to stop those phase issues happening there. Okay, and then let's create something that's a little bit lower, shall we? So let's have rough saw 2. Let's just see what this sounds like on its own. Okay, let's have some low. Okay, that's sounding good. Let's keep the lower end simple by not adding anything else to it. Right, let's have a bit of noise in there. I'm going to control that with envelope 1 as well. Just has a little bit of sparkle on the top there. Now, I want to just see what the inserts are going to sound like, so I'm going to mess around with the routing. You've probably never seen me actually doing anything like this. We have inserts 1 and 2, and you can choose where in the chain they affect. So basically you can have them here after the filter, or you can have them before the filter, or you can have them after the filter and everything else before they go to the effects. So I am going to beef it up by having it before the filter on insert 1, and we are going to put the parabolic shaper on. So just to beefen up that bottom end a little bit. So without. with it on. It's just got a little bit more weight on it. So if you put it after, you get more of the effect without the filter being in the chain before it. So you get nice kind of distorted sound, a little bit more, say, aggressive. Whereas if you put it on insert 1, it's affecting the sound in exactly the same way. It's just passing through the filter after and it's been changed. So you get that nice effect that you'd have had here if you just left it there. But you've got the option to filter it out then. So everyone's a winner. Velocity. We're just going to chuck some of this on. Alright, so let's have a look at voicing. See if we can beef this up a little bit. I don't think I want unison on it. I don't know. Okay, so we'll leave the unison spread on for now and just see what happens. Now we are going to get to the exciting parts. I'm going to put a bit of the built-in reverb and a bit of the delay synced. I'm going to chuck it to 3/12 and 1/8. Let's get rid of that one for a second. So I'm just trying to balance the dampening, so there's enough. We don't want it too much like this, because it carries on too long. That's quite nice. And then reverb. Alright, and then finally EQ. Let's add a bit of sparkle. And then what we can do with the filter is, you can see it's pretty short there. If we just go to the decay, put it up to 12, and then same for the master envelope, and just increase the decay. So now we're actually increasing the length of the notes as it filters in. So we've got a little bit more control and it sounds really good. So let's just turn that down, listen again. Okay, so we have a pretty nice sound there. I would say we've used a PWM, we've used a mixture of sort and square and saw 2, and then we've used math 1 and just like balanced it out with the intensity and the wavetable position. And then we've altered the phase of number 2 because the oscillator 1 and 2 were clashing. We've applied a very quick envelope, very quick decay time on the pitch to give it a little bit of bite. So let's listen to that with increased bite. That sounds nicer. Let's do a little bit more. Then we've put a little bit of white noise on, so the white noise is audible at the lower volumes. Let's just turn that back down again. And then we've used insert 1 and used the parabolic shaper, and we have changed the routing, so inserts become before the filter, so the filter affects the insert rather than the insert coming after the filter, which makes it sound like it's been filtered in already. And finally, we've gone through the voicing, so we've used the unison spread. It's worked quite well, and then we've put some reverb, some delay, and some EQ to taste. And that is it. So what I'm going to do is this will be available on Patreon in the next preset pack. So the June pack is being put together. I put a minimum of 5, so there has been 5 in April, 5 in May, and there's going to be at least 5 in June to come. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and drop me a comment and let me know what you thought. Do you like to see stuff like this? And also hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. 2 videos a week minimum, and hit the bell icon so you can see the upload first before anybody else. And drop me a comment to say you're the first to comment as well, because that's always nice to see. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.